Hi, I'm George Woodbury from College of the Sequoias in Visalia, California, and in this video we're going to work through an applied problem involving the equation of circles. So I'm told that a point xy is located 4 units from 3, 7, 5 units from negative 4, 3, and 10 units from 7, 1. Now there's more than one way to solve this, but I'm going to use an approach where I'm going to graph all 3 of these scenarios, and I'm going to try to find one point that works with all of them. And the graph that I'm going to make is a circle. When we're told that a point is 4 units from 3, 7, that means that it lies on a circle of radius 4 whose center is 3, 7. So the first equation, centered at 3, 7 with a radius of 4, is x minus 3 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 4 squared, or 16. I'm going to go ahead and graph this circle, and I'm going to use some technology to do it. So I've opened up my Desmos graphing calculator. It's a free app, iOS and Android. I think it does a great job when it comes to graphing. Let's take a look at that. We're going to start at the point 3, 7, and we're going to move up, down, left, right by 4 units and draw the circle. Let me show you that. First, I'll put that center on at 3, 7. Actually, let me zoom a little bit. Well, we'll see. I may have to shift that in a bit. And then I typed in the equation and it drew the circle for me. So there's the first set of values that could be x and y. These are all the points that are 4 units away from the point 3, 7. And let me just throw a label on that. All right, let's go ahead and come up with an equation for the second one. We're told that it's 5 units away from negative 4, 3. So if we have a circle centered at negative 4, 3 and a radius of 5, xy will be on that circle. That equation is x plus 4 quantity squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared equals 25. Remember, the radius center form or center radius form of a circle, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And here, when we did x minus negative 4, that's the same as x plus 4. So I'm going to put a point at negative 4, 3 and draw a circle of radius 5 around that. Let's go ahead and put the center on at negative 4, 3. And then there's my circle of radius 5. Now at this point, there's really 2 possible solutions right now. There's this point, 0.969, 3.554. That's on both circles, meaning it's 4 units from 3, 7 and 5 units from negative 4, 3. There's also this point, negative 1, 7, that's on both of them. All right, let's go back and take a look at the third equation. Here it says it's 10 units away from 7, 1. So the point at the center is 7, 1, the radius is 10. X minus 7 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 10 squared, or 100. I'm going to put a point at 7, 1, and then we're going to go up, down, left, right by 10 and draw the circle. Let's put that point 7, 1 on there. And let's put the circle on there as well. Now we can see all 3. And here we can see that there's one point that they all have in common. And that point appears to be negative 1, 7. So if we sketch this by hand, our graph might not be perfect, but we could see that they all cross close to that point. Now what I have to do is verify that those 3 equations are indeed correct for the point negative 1, 7. So from the graph, we have an idea that xy is negative 1, 7. And what we can do is we can substitute in to each of those equations, negative 1 for x, 7 for y. So for the first one, negative 1 minus 3 squared plus 7 minus 7 squared, does that equal 16? Well, negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. 7 minus 7 is 0. Is that a true equation? Well, negative 4 squared is 16, and 16 plus 0 does equal 16. So that one's good. Let's try the next one. Putting in negative 1 for x and 7 for y. Negative 1 plus 4 squared plus 7 minus 3 squared, does that equal 25? Negative 1 plus 4 is 3. So we've got 3 squared plus 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 squared equals 25. 3 squared plus 4 squared, that's 9 plus 16. And that does equal 25. So that one is good. Let's just check it one more time with equation 3. Negative 1 for x minus 7 squared plus 7 for y minus 1 squared. Does that equal 100? Negative 1 minus 7 is negative 8. So I've got negative 8 squared plus 7 minus 1 is 6. So we have 6 squared. And we want to see if that equals 100. Negative 8 squared, same as positive 8 squared, that is 64. 6 squared is 36. And 64 plus 36 does equal 100. So x, y is the point negative 1 comma 7. There are other ways that we could have solved this using a system of equations where we were trying to find, we would have to set up 3 different equations and try to solve for those unknowns there. But here, getting an estimate from the graph first and then verifying it algebraically or arithmetically was a good way to go. And that's the way they've done it in our book. All right, that's it for this section. I will see you in the next section involving functions.